He gave up on his moonlight crush of 5 years and turned to marry the possessive, sickly CEO he once shunned like a plague. Everyone called him heartless and disloyal, but only he knew the yandere was his true love. In his previous life, he did everything for the campus beauty for 5 years, only for her to scheme with his family, steal his property, and have him killed. It wasn't until his life vanished and his soul left his body that he realized there truly was one person who was obsessed with him. He witnessed her personally take revenge on his enemies and then watched as she, dressed in a wedding gown, lay down with him in the same coffin, committing suicide. At that moment, his soul, suspended in the air, felt a tearing pain. Endless regret flooded his heart. As if in a dream, he opened his eyes again and found himself standing at the school gate, a rose in his hand, facing a girl. He was stunned. Had he reincarnated? And had he returned to the moment just before he was about to confess to the campus beauty, Liu Ruyan? After 2.5 seconds of frantic thought, he shuddered. He remembered that in a little while, Gu Qinghan would appear, and this time, after being captured, he would be directly locked to the bed. A cloud of frustration washed over him. Reborn, he only wanted to love Gu Qinghan, but definitely not to be forced to love her. Liu Ruyan still stood before him, her eyes shy. "Fang Luo Gege, what did you want to say to me?" In reality, she was thinking, "Fang Luo, hurry up and confess. I'll pretend to agree for now to secure Fang Luo Gege's assets." Suddenly, a screech of brakes shattered the lovely atmosphere. A luxury car appeared behind him. He naturally knew who had arrived. Taking a deep breath, he decided to publicly snub Liu Ruyan right in front of Gu Qinghan. The car door quickly opened, and Gu Qinghan stepped out, her face grim. Without a word, she delivered a chop to his neck. As he passed out, only 3 question marks remained in his mind. Liu Ruyan was startled by the sight and also shocked by the woman's beauty. Compared to Gu Qinghan, she, the campus beauty of Icun University, felt like a drop in the ocean, filled with self-abasement. For some unknown reason, Liu Ruyan suddenly felt a sense of impending death. "Who are you?" Gu Qinghan withdrew her killing intent and, without looking back, carried him into the car. She wanted to make Liu Ruyan disappear forever. But Liu Ruyan was someone he cared about. As the luxury car sped away, Liu Ruyan realized it was a lavish motorcade and the woman had been surrounded by many bodyguards. Was Fang Luo kidnapped by this woman? Liu Ruyan pulled out her phone, about to call the police, but the next second, she froze. If Fang Luo dies, won't his family automatically inherit all his shares? After a moment's thought, Liu Ruyan called his younger brother's phone. "Luo, I truly want to dig out your eyes and make them into a specimen, so your gaze will only be on me. Or perhaps break your legs so you can't run away." Feeling an icy touch glide from the corner of his eye, he snapped his eyes open. The first thing he saw was that familiar, stunningly beautiful face. Gu Qinghan, partially unclothed, was caressing his cheek with one hand and holding a dagger, slowly tracing his chest with the other. The familiar beauty, the familiar scent, the familiar touch, the familiar large bed. He finally confirmed he wasn't dreaming. He had indeed been captured again, and his hands and feet were chained. A complex mix of emotions filled his heart. In his past life, he saw Gu Qinghan as a crazy, paranoid, and possessive demon, and he only ever wanted to escape. But now he thanked heaven for letting him have her again. A tear welled up and spilled from the corner of his eye. Seeing the faint gleam in the darkness, Gu Qinghan paused. "Luo, are you scared? Why can't you just be obedient?" Suddenly he wrapped his arms around the woman before him, this woman who loved him to the bone. The clanging of the chains did not stop him. Gu Qinghan was visibly stunned, then slowly spoke. "Luo, what trick are you trying to pull now? Don't even think about it. Tonight, you can only belong to me." Though her words were cold, his embrace filled Gu Qinghan with immense satisfaction. This was the first time he had embraced her. This feeling was addictive, like a drug. I will always belong only to you," he fiercely nodded and said. Gu Qinghan's brow slightly furrowed at his words. To escape, he would even actively hug her and say such insincere things. Didn't he say that just touching me made him feel sick? Gu Qinghan smiled bitterly but didn't expose him. Since that's the case, prove it to me. With that, she slowly leaned closer to him. Okay, I will. Before he could finish, he felt a familiar, dominant touch. He knew this was Gu Qinghan's test. She was probing his sincerity. 2.5 minutes later, Gu Qinghan finally allowed him to breathe again. He looked at her and slowly spoke. Qinghan, I want you. Gu Qinghan instantly froze. Her eyes sparkled with starlight. She began to wonder if she was hallucinating, because he had actually used the name Qinghan instead of calling her a devil or demoness. As for the next part of the story, I know you readers don't like to see it, so I'll enjoy it myself. The next morning, a ray of sunlight filtered through the curtains and hit his face. He slowly opened his eyes. The person next to him was coiled around him like a water snake, gazing at him intently. The stain of fresh blood on the bedsheet also caught his attention. In his previous life, he had been forced, and he was so terrified by Gu Qinghan's actions that he hadn't noticed this. Now he finally understood. This was Gu Qinghan's first time too. Awake, Gu Qinghan's expression was blank, but her heart was filled with fear. She feared that everything from last night was a fantasy, and that her Luo would continue to escape her. He looked at the uniquely beautiful woman in his arms, his heart filled with emotion. He knew this was a beautiful, ruthless, venomous, pathologically possessive, and potentially maniacal demon, but she also loved him to the bone. Why aren't you speaking? Seeing him stare blankly, Gu Qinghan frowned slightly. He came back to his senses. The softness in his arms reminded him that everything was still possible. This time, he would make up for his entire life's love to the woman before him. Qinghan! Gu Qinghan didn't know what he was going to say next. She was afraid he would utter words that would make her despair, so she simply sealed his mouth. However, with his active response, Gu Qinghan became even more frantic. A long while later, they separated. If you lied to me last night, I'll cut out your tongue. He shuddered, knowing that Gu Qinghan, the lunatic, was capable of anything. So he quickly said, Don't worry, I will only belong to you from now on. Gu Qinghan was very satisfied with his current state. Even if it was a lie, it tasted like sweet nectar to her. Then what did you intend to tell Liu Ruyan yesterday? He paused at the question, then fell silent for a moment. He was supposed to confess to Liu Ruyan yesterday. He didn't know how many times he had confessed before, but he knew that after this confession, Gu Qinghan had become even more frenzied, even dominating him. However, Gu Qinghan only wanted him. What fault was that? Should he give himself to her? Qinghan, I went to Liu Ruyan yesterday to draw a line between us. I actually don't like her at all. He looked at Gu Qinghan and said sincerely. Gu Qinghan pouted. Do you think I'll believe such a juvenile lie? Okay, I admit I was blind to like Liu Ruyan before, but I've seen clearly now. You are the one I seek for my entire life. Gu Qinghan seemed to see through his little trick. Do you think I will let you go if you say that? If you dare to look for Liu Ruyan again, I don't mind making her into a specimen and placing her here to watch me possess you every night. He certainly knew Gu Qinghan was capable of this. After all, Liu Ruyan's fate in the previous life was even worse. However, he also knew that he had hurt Gu Qinghan too deeply. Thankfully, he had been reborn. He would use this lifetime to prove whether he was lying. With that thought, he actively hugged Gu Qinghan again. Gu Qinghan thoroughly enjoyed his constant initiative. Aluo, call me Qinghan. Kiss me. 2.5 hours later, he felt his body was drained again. Before long, he fell into a deep sleep. He woke up again at noon. Gu Qinghan was no longer beside him. Good thing it's not the start of the school term yet, or I'd definitely be late, he muttered helplessly. Then he noticed a small bottle of ointment on the bedside table. He smiled, knowing it was a highly effective scar removal cream. He used it often in his previous life too. He entered the bathroom and applied it to his body. The very visible scratch marks reminded him of how crazy the woman beside him was. However, compared to his previous life, this was already good. She only wanted to leave her mark on him. What fault was that? She wanted him? Should he give it to her? It wasn't like he wouldn't. Not long after, he pushed open the door of the villa's bedroom. The butler, Fu Shu, who had been waiting outside, quickly greeted him. Young Master Fang, will you have lunch now? He had a good impression of Fu Shu. In his previous life, the butler was the one who advised him the most. "Where's Gu Qinghan?" "The madam has gone to the company," Fu Shu replied with a smile. He nodded and sat down at a small dining table. He remembered that in the past, he always had to sit as far away from Gu Qinghan as possible during meals. For this, Gu Qinghan had replaced the luxurious large dining table with this small one. But even so, he would always sit on the opposite side or simply not eat. Shaking his head helplessly at the thought, the servants began to serve the meal. However, a soup with a strange smell caught his attention. He looked at Fu Shu and asked, "What is this?" This is a qi-boosting and essence-strengthening soup the madam prepared for you, young master," Fu Shu said with a knowing smile. He had been surprised when the madam asked him to prepare this tonic that morning. "I didn't expect it. Young Master Fang has finally blossomed." He fell silent at the remark. A grown man like him was considered weak by his woman? Well, I guess I kind of am, he thought, but it's not my fault. Who can withstand that kind of nightly torment? He began to eat unhurriedly, carefully ignoring the tonic soup. Suddenly, his phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID, which read, "Dad," and his face darkened instantly. He considered for a moment before answering the phone. Fang Tianba's angry voice immediately roared. "You little bastard! Where are you? I heard you were kidnapped! Do you know how worried your mother and brother are? We waited a day and a night, but the kidnappers never called. What are you planning?" He knew Liu Ruyan had informed them. In his past life, he received this call and told Fang Tianba that he had been kidnapped by Gu Qinghan and described his ordeal. Who knew that after confirming it was Gu Qinghan who had taken him, Fang Tianba hung up the phone without a word, as if nothing had happened. He slightly narrowed his eyes. Did they already plan for me to die back then? "Old fool, don't you dare talk to your old man like that again." "Old fool, your old man." Fang Tianba was clearly stunned, as if he couldn't believe those words came from him. Fang Jian quickly whispered next to him, "Dad, maybe Gage was really kidnapped and is pretending to have a bad relationship with you so as not to implicate you. The kidnapper might be right next to him." Fang Tianba suddenly realized, it must be so. Why else would my usually timid son be so disrespectful? A little touched, he said, "Xiao Luo, Dad was just too worried. Although Dad can't save you right now, you can ask your captor if they have any demands. As long as I can fulfill them, Dad will definitely do it. Just ask the kidnapper to leave you a whole corpse." He burst into laughter, anger swelling in his heart. "Who said I was kidnapped? I just went home with my wife." "You're so gullible. Your head is like a watermelon covered in mold, full of spoiled, nasty water. You're a fool. Having an old beast like you for a father? I'm truly enlightened." Fang Tianba instantly went ballistic. "You little bastard, what did you say? I'm your father. How dare you talk to me like that? In Jiangnan and Jiangbei, go ask around who's the real father. Calling me a little bastard constantly. Did you stick a suppository in your mouth? All you do is spew shit, right? Your name is as dumb as a rock. You shouldn't be called Fang Tianba. You should be called Fang Wangba, bastard turtle." After venting his anger, he immediately hung up the phone and blocked all the Fang family's numbers in one go. "Fang family, just you wait! Fang Tianba, in a couple of days, I'll let you know who the real father is." Fu Shu's pupils contracted in shock. He never imagined that his young master would have such a fallout with the Fang family. And what did the young master just say? Went home with his wife? Fu Shu almost cried tears of joy and immediately poured him another bowl of the tonic soup. He groaned inwardly, "I'd die before I drink that." Meanwhile, at the Fang family's villa, Fang Tianba angrily smashed his phone, accidentally hitting Fang Jian's forehead. Liu Ruyan was startled and quickly checked her son's injury. "Son, are you okay?" Liu Ruyan was his stepmother. The day after his birth mother passed away, she and Fang Jian were brought in by Fang Tianba. From that moment on, he lost all status in the Fang family. Fang Tianba was also stunned, seeing the blood seeping from Fang Jian's forehead. He was horrified. "I'm sorry, son. Dad didn't mean it." Fang Jian endured the pain and pretended to be a good son. "It's nothing, Dad. You should focus on saving Geek first, at least ask the kidnappers to leave him a whole corpse. Forget that unfilial son. We need to rush you to the hospital. Look, the wound is at least a centimeter long." In Gu Qinghan's manor villa, he spent the entire afternoon lounging on the sofa, relaxing while thinking about Gu Qinghan. I really want to cuddle with my CEO wife. As he thought, he picked up his phone to look for the chat history, which was full of transfer records he had never claimed. In the high-level meeting room of the Gu Corporation, all the executives were sitting in nervous silence. Today, CEO Gu's face was so cold it could drip ice. Gu Qinghan was tapping a pen in her hand, filled with killing intent. Her assistant had reported at noon that Liu Ruyan was asking for her internship certificate. Liu Ruyan was doing a summer internship at a subsidiary of the Gu Corporation. This was, of course, Gu Qinghan's doing. She had full control over the activities of everyone connected to him, especially Liu Ruyan. Gu Qinghan was considering whether to make her disappear forever. If Liu Ruyan is gone, will he break down or will he stay by my side? But she didn't want to hesitate, and she didn't dare to. Suddenly, a message notification he had set for special attention chimed. Gu Qinghan paused and picked up her phone to check. Gradually, the icy corners of her mouth turned up. All the executives were shocked. Holy moly, CEO Gu is actually smiling. What message has such great power? That's all for this meeting. Everyone gets a $100,000 bonus this month. Having said that, Gu Qinghan stood up and left, leaving a group of dumbfounded executives behind. Gu Qinghan didn't take her eyes off the phone screen until she walked back to her office. Her assistant, Shen Mengshi, next to her, was equally shocked. The only person who can cause CEO Gu to have an emotional reaction must be young Master Fang. Sitting in the office, Gu Qinghan stared at the few words in the message, unable to calm down. It was the message he had sent. "Miss you. When are you coming back?" After thinking for a moment, Gu Qinghan replied with one message. "Soon." Then she looked up at her assistant. "I'm going back. You take care of the rest of the work." Shen Mengshi replied with a stunned, "Yes." CEO Gu is clocking out early. My God, this is a first. On the way back, Gu Qinghan received a message from the butler, Fu Shu. The butler had sent her a detailed record of his phone call with the Fang family today. Gu Qinghan's eyes were exceptionally bright after reading it. Luo said, "Home with my wife." At the manor villa, having received the message, he immediately walked towards the kitchen. He was going to make dinner for Gu Qinghan. This is how you could contribute now, your current form of effort. You didn't ask whether you could leave the villa. In the previous life, you were always locked to the bed. Now, at least there are no chains, and you don't ask for more. Besides, with such a comfortable villa, a life where everything is provided, and a beautiful, mesmerizing wife, isn't this the pinnacle of life? Which one of you, watching this, would be as ungrateful as your former self? Seeing you wanted to cook, the villa's chef and servants were terrified. The kitchen was considered a potentially dangerous area in the house. If anything, even a slight injury were to happen to the young master, everyone would be finished. The staff had witnessed the madam's attitude toward young Master Fang. Even if the young master blew up the manor, the blame would fall on the bomb and the manor, not him. But no matter how the chef and servants tried to dissuade you, you were unmoved. "It's fine. I just want to make dinner for Gu Qinghan. If you're worried about accidents, just watch from the side." Before long, to everyone's astonishment, you had prepared 8 dishes and 1 soup. At the same time, Gu Qinghan returned. Finding no one in the living room, she immediately went upstairs to the bedroom. Pushing the door open, she found it empty too. Gu Qinghan's face instantly went cold. "No one is here. Did he run away again?" "Luo, why are you so disobedient?" Gu Qinghan quickly pulled out her phone, opened an unknown app to check his location, and the next second, a look of confusion appeared on her face. "He's still inside the villa." Just then, Fu Shu rushed over from the kitchen. "Madam, you're back! Where is Luo?" Gu Qinghan asked coldly. "The young master is in the kitchen. He said he wanted to personally cook for you," Fu Shu replied. Gu Qinghan froze at the words. It took a moment for her expression to return to normal. Fu Shu wiped a bead of sweat, thinking, "Good thing I spoke fast, or I might have lost my life." "Madam, the young master is almost finished. Please come downstairs." Gu Qinghan nodded, went to the bedroom to change clothes, and then headed for the dining room. In the dining room, you watched the servants set the dishes, And then you saw Gu Qinghan. For some reason, you felt an unparalleled happiness at that moment, a feeling you'd never had before. You walked up to Gu Qinghan, embraced her, and placed a light kiss on her forehead. "Qinghan, I made dinner. Let's eat together." "Okay," Gu Qinghan replied softly, her eyes sparkling. "Is this what it feels like to have a Luo?" The two of you went to the dining table and sat down. This time you sat right beside Gu Qinghan. She was very pleased with your change, even if she suspected it might all be an act. If you could keep up the act, it would still be wonderful. You proactively served Gu Qinghan a bowl of the beauty-enhancing soup and then served yourself a bowl. Wife needs beauty enhancement, and so do I. What if she leaves me when I get old and ugly? At this point, Fu Shu suddenly interrupted. "Madam, that soup looks quite delicious. May I please have a bowl first?" Fu Shu was genuinely worried that you had poisoned the food. Gu Qinghan gave Fu Shu a chilling look. "No need. A Luo made it. I trust him." Seeing this, you offered a calm smile. "Let me go first." Without waiting for anyone's reaction, you quickly took 2 sips of the soup and then ate a bit of every dish. Fu Shu chuckled awkwardly. "I was being petty. I apologize, young Master Fang." You were about to signal that it was okay. But Gu Qinghan coldly stated, "Your bonus is gone this month." Fu Shu's eyes widened in horror. This was worse than killing him. You generously intervened. "Qinghan, Fu Shu was just looking out for your safety. Let's forget about docking his bonus, okay? Try the soup." Seeing the madam nod, Fu Shu wanted to express his deep gratitude to you, but seeing Gu Qing's slightly furrowed brow, he immediately shut up. "The madam and young master are having a meal. How can I interrupt?" You quietly watched Gu Qinghan drink the soup. Under the light, she looked even more captivating. It felt like you could never get enough of her stunning beauty. Gu Qinghan looked up, confused. "What are you looking at?" You answered playfully, "Looking at you, you're beautiful." Gu Qinghan's brows slightly knitted. Then, compared to Liu Ruyan, who is more beautiful? This is a guaranteed easy win, you thought to yourself. You replied, "I must have been blind before. A woman as beautiful as you was right in front of me, and I couldn't see you. Now that my sight is restored, I need to look at you more. I want to look at you for a lifetime. I just regret so much." Gu Qinghan was initially touched by your words, but your final sentence made her eyes narrow. "Regret what? Regret giving your body to me yesterday?" The air around you suddenly turned frigid, and you were inwardly horrified. Why did she get angry out of the blue? Did she misunderstand? You quickly continued, "Qinghan, I regret so much. I regret not seeing your beauty sooner. I should be damned." Sure enough, the next second, Gu Qinghan's icy aura retreated and vanished, and the curve of her lips became more pronounced. Fu Shu, watching nearby, was stunned. The young master is flirting. My goodness, the madam hasn't smiled like that in ages. Suddenly, a drop of soup trickled down Gu Qinghan's lip. Seeing this, you reached out to wipe it, but touched Gu Qinghan's hand instead. Awkwardly, you apologized. "I'm sorry, I just wanted to wipe it for you." However, Gu Qinghan's reply was, feed me the food." At her request, you immediately scooped up a spoonful of soup from your bowl and slowly brought it to her lips. Fu Shu was startled. He knew the madam had a cleanliness fetish and hated men. The young master was using his spoon to feed the madam's soup. He secretly pulled out his phone and sent a message, "Prepare a crystal coffin." Then, Fu Shu saw his madam actually open her mouth and drink it. She even licked the spoon. It must be a hallucination, he thought. At that moment, Gu Qinghan's slow, measured voice rang out. "Fu Shu, do you want to join our candlelight dinner?" Fu Shu instantly stiffened. He shook his head frantically and motioned for everyone to leave. At the same time, he pulled out his phone and sent another message. "Cancel the coffin." The dinner lasted a long time. The two of you moved from the dining room to the bedroom. Just as Gu Qinghan was about to pounce on you, your phone rang. The caller ID read, "Goddess." You froze. I must have forgotten to block this wicked woman. Gu Qinghan naturally saw it, and the air temperature instantly dropped by 8 degrees. You quickly hung up the phone, about to explain to Gu Qinghan, when the phone rang again. Gu Qinghan grabbed it and answered coldly, while you silently cursed Liu Ruyan 1,000 times. Liu Ruyan, you better be sensible. Don't say anything that would upset my wife. Fang Luo Gaig, where are you? That woman who took you away the other day, who is she? Also, why did you block all my contact information? Don't you know your aunt and uncle are very worried about you? Liu Ruyan said, sounding concerned. You were about to curse when Gu Qinghan challenged. Aluo, who is the woman you love the most? You. I only love you. Following your words, a different kind of sound echoed, a sound Liu Ruyan was all too familiar with. She panicked. Fang Luo, what are you doing? Why is there a woman's voice near you? Pushing Gu Qinghan away, an action that almost ignited her fuse, you shouted into the phone, I'm with my wife. Get a life or go die. You hung up and were immediately enveloped by Gu Qinghan again, 1,000 words omitted here. A long while later, you spoke. Exhausted. Qinghan, we need to be more moderate, or I'm genuinely afraid I'll die in your bed. In the previous life, Gu Qinghan always took the lead. You were surprised it was the same now. I'm clearly the man. Still, you wondered, what's so good about me? Why did Gu Qinghan specifically choose me? Luo, I'm so scared that you'll leave me tomorrow. So even if you're lying to me, can you keep lying? Your heart ached. Even though Gu Qinghan thought you were lying, she was willing to accept it. What kind of passionate love is this? Qinghan, whether you believe it or not, I will always stay with you and cherish you. We'll continue like this forever. Trust me, okay? Gu Qinghan's eyes shimmered, but she fiercely held back her tears. She had to be the strongest Gu Qinghan, only then could she protect her Luo. The room gradually filled with an absurd yet romantic atmosphere again. I swear, a man really can be completely drained. Waking up in the morning, you found Gu Qinghan gone again. Doesn't this little girl ever need to sleep? After breakfast, you went to the walk-in closet you had never entered before. The shelves full of luxurious clothing nearly blinded you. In the past, you wanted nothing from Gu Qinghan. Now, things were different. This soft life is a must-have. 2.5 minutes later, you looked at yourself in the mirror and couldn't help but exclaim, a total heartthrob! My looks can probably only be matched by you readers. Then, you thought for a moment and sent Gu Qinghan a message. Now, you wanted to report everything you did to her. Not because you were afraid of her, but to manage her emotions. Although outsiders saw her as ruthless and decisive, you knew how sensitive she was inside. Your message said, Wife, I want to go to the Fang family to get some things. Gu Qinghan immediately replied with a single word, Go! Then she continued staring at your message, lost in thought. Wife. She likes this title. She thought for a moment and changed your contact name to Hubby. At the manor, you asked Fushu for a few bodyguards and drove out in a luxury car. Fushu followed closely behind in his own car. He was genuinely afraid you'd run away, especially after witnessing your importance to his madam. This is a person who can make the madam smile. We absolutely cannot lose him. Before long, you smoothly parked outside the Fang family villa and marched in with 10 bodyguards. Inside the villa, Fang Jian had just been brought home from the hospital. The family of 3 was laughing and chatting when, with a bang, the villa door was forcefully kicked open. Old beast, your real dad is here for you! The 3 inside froze at the familiar voice. The moment he saw you, Fang Tianba was enraged. He stood up and pulled out his belt. You little bastard, you dare to come back! If you don't bow and apologize today, I'll beat you to death. Before Fang Tianba could act, several bodyguards swarmed out from behind you and pinned him to the floor. This move terrified Fang Jian and his mother. Fang Jian whined, Brother, you're back. I missed you so much. When I heard you were kidnapped, I couldn't eat or sleep. I was just thinking about saving you. But Gage, why did you come back and bring outsiders to bully Dad? Hurry up and release our dear dad. Liu Yuma chimed in. Xiao Luo is back. Please release your father. He was so worried the last 2 days you were gone. He kept trying to contact the kidnappers to save you. You were utterly disgusted. You gave the bodyguard a look, and the next second, Fang Jian and his mother were also pinned to the floor. Fang Tianba roared with anger. You little bastard! Let me go! I'm your father! You slowly crouched down, pulled the belt from his hand, flipped it over, and fiercely lashed out with the metal buckle. With a scream, Fang Tianba's head was bleeding. Old fool, remember this. Don't call yourself Dad when you see me. Every time we meet, you have to kneel and kowtow to me. Otherwise, I'll beat you like this." As Fang Tianba screamed repeatedly, Fang Jian and his mother were stunned. You slowly spoke. "Attorney Shu, I'll leave the rest to you." With that, you went upstairs to your former storage room. The lawyer handed Fang Tianba a document. "This is the document to sever all relations with Mr. Fang Luo. Please sign it." Fang Tianba was stunned, unable to calm down. When you came back downstairs carrying a suitcase, Fang Tianba still hadn't signed. He suppressed his overwhelming rage and said, "You unfilial son, are you serious?" "Yes, why wouldn't I be?" you replied. Fang Tianba was so angry he laughed. "Haha, good, good. Remember this, you will never step foot back in the Fang family for the rest of your life. Even if you beg me, I will never acknowledge you as my son again." You smiled at his words. You got a deal. Furious, Fang Tianba immediately signed the document. Meanwhile, Fang Jian and his mother exchanged a knowing, meaningful glance. "Oh, and I also took my shares with me. The shares of the Chan Cheng group were left to me by my mother. You won't get a single penny from me." The three of them were terrified, suddenly remembering your shares. Fang Tianba quickly said, "Good son, transfer the shares to me first. I'll give them back to you after you graduate from university." Fang Jian echoed, "Brother, Dad is the chairman. The shares should be with him. It will give him more power in the company." Liu Ruyan even put on a maternal act, telling you to be obedient and transfer the shares to Fang Tianba. You nearly vomited. How could I have not realized how disgusting this family was before? You looked at Fang Tianba and shook the severance document in your hand. "Who is your son? We're just strangers. You insulted me, and I'm very angry. As a form of self-defense, I need to beat you to vent my anger." After a round of punches and kicks, the lawyer, Shu Kai, gently reminded you, "Leave him some breath. Don't kill him." At this point, Fang Tianba started begging. "Xiao Luo, please tell them to stop. Dad was wrong. Don't hit Dad anymore." You chuckled at the words. In your past life, you were tortured by Gu Qinghan until you wished for death, but you never begged. Yet Fang Tianba was begging after a few punches. You asked with disdain, "Who is the real father here?" Fang Tianba, in agony, gritted his teeth and said, "You are my dad!" "Good. Since we've severed ties, some things need to be made clear. When I was 13, my mother died and left me 30% of the Chansheng Group's shares. You owe me 10 years of dividends. I've checked the company's financial reports. You owe me 300 million yuan. I hit you today, and I'll compensate you 10,000 yuan based on the highest standard at a pet hospital. The day after my mother died, you brought your mistress home and gave me 300 yuan a month until I was 18, which totals 18,000 yuan. Therefore, you still owe me 299,972,000 yuan. Fang Tianba was shocked. He didn't expect you had spent so little. He tried to argue, "You've spent a lot on food and lodging in the Fang family over the years." You laughed in his face. "Bullshit! I ate at school. At home, I cooked all the meals myself. I was cheaper than a maid. And after cooking, I was often punished by not being allowed to eat. I wore a school uniform. I never bought a single piece of clothing before I was 18. Everything after that, I bought with my part-time job money. I haven't even accused you of child abuse. Stop standing around. Not a single cent of the dividends can be missing, or my lawyer will send you to jail and add a charge of child abuse." With that, you turned and left, leaving the three people wailing in the villa. 25 minutes later, you drove to Huishan Plaza. Looking at your phone, which showed a balance of only 13,000 yuan, you fell silent. This was the money you had saved from an entire summer job and various part-time gigs. You had originally intended to buy a bag for Liu Ruyan, but now you plan to buy a gift for Gu Qinghan. In the end, you chose a bracelet priced at 13,000 yuan. You imagined how beautiful Gu Qinghan would look wearing it, thinking that once you made more money, you would give her the best things in the world. Suddenly, you felt a chill down your spine and heard a familiar voice call your name. You turned around and saw Liu Ruyan. Your face instantly turned black. How unlucky. If Gu Qinghan sees this, won't I get beaten again? What you didn't know was that Gu Qinghan was already on her way. Fang Luo, it really is you. That woman who took you away the other day, who is she? And why did you block all my contact information? Don't you know your aunt and uncle are very worried? Liu Ruyan said, looking worried. Her best friend, Hu Haini, immediately spotted the beautiful box in your hand. Fang Luo, are you going to give that to our Ruyan? She reached out to grab it. You quickly pulled your hand back. This was a gift for your beloved wife, and you had to protect it. Hu Haini was angry. Fang Luo, what do you mean? Do you know who I am? I'm Ruyan's best friend. With that attitude, how do you expect to win over our Ruyan? Liu Ruyan bit her lip, waiting for your reply. She had to get with you quickly so she could help Fang Jian get your shares. Wu Haini was still arrogant. Our Ruyan is so beautiful. Even if you, Fang Luo, are a little handsome, it's useless. In today's society, you can't win a girl without sincere effort. Do you even understand? Now, if you're willing to buy a bag for Ruyan and one for me, I'll persuade Ruyan to give you a chance to get close to her. Hearing this, you were about to give her 2 big slaps, when Liu Ruyan stepped forward and lightly tugged at the corner of your sleeve. Fang Luo Gige, I only asked because I care about you so much. Even if that woman likes you, and even if something happened between you, I believe you were forced. Can we go back to how things were? This entire scene was witnessed by the arriving Gu Qinghan, whose eyes were fixed on your direction like daggers. But to her surprise, you quickly stepped aside, avoiding Liu Ruyan's hand, and said, Liu Ruyan, you've got foam in your head, don't drag me down, get lost. Liu Ruyan froze. Her friend, Hu Haini, was also furious. Fang Luo, who do you think you are? Our Ruyan is so beautiful and even forgave you. Not only are you ungrateful, but you're also cursing her. Hearing this, you burst out laughing. Beautiful? My wife is much prettier than her. She has looks, money, and treats me well. I love her the most. Where do you get your confidence from? Liu Ruyan couldn't believe those words came from you. She longed for her old, gentle, and considerate Fang Luo Gege. Fang Luo Gege, if that woman you mentioned is your wife, then what am I? And what was all that time you spent chasing me? You sneered and replied, what are you? In a deck of cards, you're the Joker. In the circus, you're the busiest. In Gotham City, you're the craziest. You're standing guard outside McDonald's. You're Batman's biggest customer and the pillar of the Joker's organization. Fu Shu, who had arrived, added a savage blow. The clown of all clowns. Liu Ruyan and Hu Haini's faces immediately twisted in revulsion. Meanwhile, Gu Qinghan, who was watching from a distance, saw the killing intent in her eyes instantly disappear. She stayed put, observing silently. Liu Ruyan was exasperated. Fang Luo, how dare you call me a clown? You mocked her. Actually, you're quite a beauty. My wife could turn you into a hostage, put you in a bottle, and send you to Myanmar to be a... Beauty, you've seen Gone Girl, right? The kind of beauty from that. Gu Qinghan's mouth curved slightly at your words. She was clearly pleased. You turned to leave. I have to go home and spend time with my wife. Don't hover around me anymore. I'm afraid my wife will misunderstand. Also, I never liked you. Not before, and definitely not now. You added, as for the things I used to buy you, consider it feeding a dog. If I still had the purchase records, I'd actually want them back. Liu Ruyan's eyes welled up with tears, making her look like a little white flower hurt by a scumbag. But you only felt intense disgust. You honestly wanted to kill her, but murder is illegal. Besides, wouldn't prolonged torment be more interesting than a quick death? You were shocked by your own thought. When did my mindset become like this? The influence of a demonic wife, indeed. The next second, you stiffened as you turned around. When did Gu Qinghan arrive? Damn it! She saw me with Liu Ruyan. Will she misunderstand? You quickly rushed over. Wife, I swear I have absolutely nothing to do with Liu Ruyan. If I'm lying, may my whole family die a horrible death. Killing intent wavered in the air. Assistant Shen Mengxi had already organized bodyguards to clear the area. Gu Qinghan slowly walked up to Liu Ruyan, slapped her twice across the face, and said, "Get out! Stay away from Luo, or I'll throw both of you into the ocean to feed the sharks." Liu Ruyan and Hu Haini were both petrified by Gu Qinghan's powerful aura. They didn't dare to speak, maintaining their stance even as their legs trembled. They covered their faces and scurried away, defeated. Gu Qinghan stared at the gift in your hand, her voice cold. "Did you buy that for Liu Ruyan?" You immediately declared, "I did not buy this for Liu Ruyan. This is a gift for you. I'm sorry, my ability is limited. This is all the money I have. You carefully unwrapped the packaging. The malevolence that had surrounded Gu Qinghan instantly vanished. She looked down at the bracelet. As if it were the most beautiful artwork in the world, this inexpensive bracelet moved her deeply because it was a gift chosen by you, using everything you owned. She slowly extended her hand and said, "Put it on me." You did as told, seriously fastening the bracelet onto her wrist. Gu Qinghan was extremely pleased. She waved a hand at her assistant. "Transfer the ownership of this entire plaza to Luo's name." Shen Mengxi's pupils dilated in shock, but she quickly recovered. "Yes, CEO Gu. Though you didn't particularly want it, you didn't say anything, knowing that you couldn't refuse anything Gu Qinghan gave you, or the only result would be unrestrained punishment." "It's very pretty. I love it," Gu Qinghan said, clearly in a joyful mood. In fact, seeing you with Liu Ruyan just now, she had nearly lost control. Suddenly, Gu Qinghan leaned in close to you and whispered, "Luo, kiss me." You stiffened, looking around. Where are the servants? Where's Fu Shu? The bodyguards? The assistant? The staff? You naturally leaned down and kissed her. Gu Qinghan held you tightly. After a long moment, she whispered, "Luo, stop, not here. Let's go home first." Gu Qinghan nodded. Back at the manor, the driver and Shen Mengxi immediately got out of the car. No one dared to disturb the people inside the vehicle. Inside the car, Gu Qinghan looked at you, her red lips slightly parted. "Luo, call me wife." You obediently replied, "Wife." Gu Qinghan was satisfied. "Why? Why are you suddenly so good to me?" "Because I love you," you said with conviction. Gu Qinghan didn't believe it, but she didn't want to pursue the matter endlessly. She was afraid she would truly guess the reason that made her despair. If that reason led to you leaving her, she would truly go mad and die. "How many gifts did you send Liu Ruyan?" Gu Qinghan asked again. You tensed up, confused by the rapid shift in her thinking. After a pause, you said, "I've given gifts to many people since I was a child. My brothers, close friends, and classmates. But the one I gave you is the only one I truly wanted to give to the person I love." This answer was sufficient for Gu Qinghan. "Luo, remember this. From now on, you can only give gifts to one woman, me." After dinner that night, Gu Qinghan wrapped herself around you again, as if she wanted to melt you into her body. She sighed inwardly. "I wish Luo were with me because of love." After you fell asleep, she got up and left the room, heading toward a secret room. Her heart was full of dread. She suspected that all your actions during the day were a performance to protect the Fang family and Liu Ruyan, fearing that she would use them to threaten you into staying. Early the next morning, you went downstairs and saw Fu Shu looking a little awkward. "Fu Shu, that tonic soup." Fu Shu smiled knowingly. "It's already been prepared for the young master." You felt a little embarrassed, murmuring to yourself, "Your madam is simply insatiable." "Well, I enjoy it too, but I'll be completely spent soon." Arriving at the dining room, you found Gu Qinghan was also there. "Curious, you asked? Don't you have to work today?" She nodded. "It's the weekend. I can handle things from home." You sensed that Gu Qinghan was a little off. The weekend passed warmly until evening, when Gu Qinghan asked, "Want to have some wine?" You were surprised but agreed. Gu Qinghan got up and retrieved a bottle of Mao Tai from the liquor cabinet. Just as she returned to the table, she suddenly cried out in pain from her leg, and the bottle was about to fall. You quickly hugged her waist with one hand and caught the Mao Tai with the other. "Silly girl, be careful." The intimate gesture made Gu Qinghan's heart race. Only you could evoke this feeling in her. Her red lips curled up. "You scoundrel, hold me steady." Scoundrel, you thought. Well, I was pretty despicable in my past life. After a few sips of wine, you were already tipsy, swaying clumsily. "Wife, what's on your mind? Why are you floating in the sky?" Gu Qinghan ignored the question, getting up to steady you and putting you on the bed in the bedroom. You mumbled groggily, "Wife, I can't do this anymore. You've drained me dry." What decent man could withstand this? Suddenly, Gu Qinghan asked, "Luo, do you still like Liu Ruyan?" You jolted up, though your eyes were still glazed. "Liu Ruyan? Is she a person or a ghost? Who are you? Are you Liu Ruyan?" Gu Qinghan's face grew colder. She adopted a high-pitched voice to mimic Liu Ruyan. "It's me, Fang Luo Gege. Don't you love me anymore?" You recoiled, as if you had touched excrement. "Don't touch me. I'm afraid of getting dirty. My precious Qinghan doesn't like me anymore." You paused, then burst out. "Precious Qinghan is my wife. She's my master. She's my everything. She's the person I love most. She's the person who loves me most in this world." Gu Qinghan was stunned. She couldn't believe you said those words. If you truly loved her this much, why had you never shown it before? Why had you only ever shown disgust and fear toward her? Gu Qinghan narrowed her eyes. Is he not drunk at all? Or is this the 7 parts drunk, 1 tear script men use? She tested you. "Luo, it's Ruyan. Do you truly not love me?" "I'd rather love a dog than love you," you said, before collapsing onto the bed. Whether from exhaustion or genuine drunkenness, you seemed to see your previous life, seeing the woman who went mad for you. She had once said, "Luo, I've caught you. I'm going to marry you. Marry me. Why won't you obey? Why won't you marry me? If you don't want to be with me, then let's go to hell together. Luo, be a little more obedient and you won't suffer. If you try to run again, I'll kill you. I'll dig out your heart and put it in my body. Luo, please don't leave me, okay? You're the only one." The final image was the two of you in the crystal coffin, beautiful and serene. It turned out that among the myriad of city lights, there truly was one guiding beacon. This was your tomb, and also your home. You woke up again with a splitting headache and a bladder that felt like it would burst. In the dim moonlight, you thought you saw a beautiful, enchanting figure applying something to herself. When you let out a low groan, Gu Qinghan's actions paused. Whether your words were real or fake, an act or a performance, they had indeed stabilized her emotions greatly. Otherwise, she might have entered that secret room again and again, the room where she had to hurt herself to find calm. Gu Qinghan carefully applied medicine to all her wounds, not missing a single spot, knowing that a scar would make her Luo unhappy. She didn't want you to know about this, nor did she want to show you her scars. She strove to be the version of herself that you loved. Early the next morning, you woke up refreshed and energetic. Gu Qinghan still didn't go to the company, choosing to stay in the manor to handle work. She wanted to live here with you forever, but she knew that was impossible. She had to seize every moment with you. She was aware that if she stopped advancing, countless people would climb over her corpse. If that happened, you wouldn't fare well either. So she had to be ruthless, directing her inner savagery toward her enemies until no one could stop her, reserving all her tenderness for you. In the morning, Attorney Shu Kai delivered your newly opened household register. "Mr. Feng, Fang Tianba still has no intention of paying the dividends. I have arranged to prepare a lawsuit. I just need to confirm with you before filing. After all, you are biological father and son," you sneered. "He contributed nothing but a piece of genetic material. Send it. Make that old fool face reality. It's best to put him in jail." The first thought that popped into your head after receiving the household register was to go and register your marriage with Gu Qinghan. You were startled by the idea. Although Gu Qinghan had worn a wedding dress for you in your past life, you still weren't sure if Gu Qinghan simply wanted to possess you, or if it was some other obsession. You also didn't know if Gu Qinghan wanted to go public with your relationship. In the study, Gu Qinghan was staring at her computer with a blank expression. You quietly went up to her and leaned in to kiss her cheek. Gu Qinghan was startled by your sudden appearance, and then she heard her own heart pound. The corners of her mouth curved into a beautiful arc. She turned around and gave you a passionate French kiss. After a long time, the two of you separated. Your face was flushed, and you stuttered, "Wife, I want to discuss something with you." As you spoke, you turned your head to look at Gu Qinghan's computer, and you saw a group of people on the screen, all sitting dumbfounded, their jaws dropped to the floor. You cursed inwardly, and the words, "Let's go get married," that were about to leave your mouth got swallowed back. You had intended to see what Gu Qinghan was doing, but you hadn't expected her to be on a video conference. Gu Qinghan showed no sign of embarrassment. She just lightly closed the laptop. However, the executives in the conference room couldn't stay seated. Did I see that correctly? Who was that handsome guy? Our boss likes men? Didn't they say she hated men? That little brother is really handsome though. He looks perfect with CEO GU. I wonder who's on top when CEO GU is with that handsome guy in the villa. Back at the villa, you were slightly stunned, not by embarrassment, but by self-blame, worrying that you had caused trouble for Gu Qinghan. Gu Qinghan spoke softly. What did you want to discuss? You no longer had the presence of mind to talk about marriage registration. You stammered. That? I didn't cause you any trouble, did I? Gu Qinghan found your flustered look amusing. She shook her head. No, I agree. Agree to what, you thought? Did she somehow know I got the household register and want to marry her? That's too miraculous. I agree that you can freely enter and leave the manor, but on the condition that you cannot run away. Must report to me at all times. Come home to accompany me every night, and absolutely cannot look for Liu Ruyan. If you fail to do these things, I will capture and torture Liu Ruyan and your family. This is a good deal, you thought, then quickly said, Qinghan, actually, I wasn't going to talk about that. I meant to say, I got the household register. I want to go register our marriage with you. Gu Qinghan was momentarily stunned, then grabbed your collar and pulled you out. 2.5 hours later, you held a red marriage certificate in your hand, feeling slightly surreal. Qinghan, I owe you a wedding and a ring? No need. As long as you stay by my side, that's enough, Gu Qinghan replied calmly. I will definitely buy you the most beautiful ring when I earn the money, you insisted. Gu Qinghan shook her head. Mine is yours. The black card I gave you has a limit of 10 billion yuan. If that's not enough, just tell me. All my money is yours. You can use it to buy any ring you want. How much? Your heart jumped in shock. You knew that card was in the closet of the villa's dressing room, along with various other documents, luxury cars, real estate, gold bars, and bank cards, but you had never used it. My wife is rich, beautiful, and willing to spend on me. Where can I find a wife this good? I must have been poisoned in my past life not to see how good she was. I was truly an idiot. After a moment of contemplation, you slowly said, Qinghan, I still want to earn the money myself to buy it. Sensing Gu Qinghan's sudden chill, you reached out and cupped her face. Gu Qinghan, look at me. I am your man. This family can't have just one person giving everything. I need to earn money too. If it were just for myself, I would spend yours, happily spending my wife's money. But for a gift for you, I want to buy it with money I earned myself. Hearing these words, Gu Qinghan's expression softened. Understood. From now on, you are not allowed to call me by my full name. Then what should I call you? Wife? Qinghan? Hanhan? Sweet little baby? Whatever you like, Gu Qinghan said, a blush creeping onto her face, though her expression was one of pure pleasure. The next day, with Gu Qinghan's permission, you drove the Bugatti to Icun University. After a night of careful thought, you planned to leverage your past life's memory to start a live streaming company and preemptively gather some future phenomena. First, you needed to go back to school to find your good brother, Kai-kun. In your previous life, after your death, only this brother whom you grew up with took care of your grave. Later, his family suffered misfortune, and a heartless woman hurt him, leading to his eventual deep sorrow. This life, you were determined to ensure his prosperity. Half an hour later, inside a dorm room at Icun University, Kai-kun looked at you in disbelief. What? Fang Luo? You're starting a company? And you want me to be the manager? Brother, what nonsense are you talking about? You were doing worse than me and the Fang family. Where are you getting the money to start a company? I have a wife. My wife is a rich and beautiful sugar mommy, 3 years older than me. The saying goes, marry a woman 3 years older and you embrace a gold brick, but for me, it's not a gold brick, it's a gold mountain. After a few minutes of explanation, Kai-kun finally understood the situation. You were no longer obsessed with Liu Ruyan and had a rich wife. He beat his chest and stomped his feet. You deserve to die. This is worse than killing me. Kai-kun calmed down after a moment, a look of genuine happiness spreading across his face. He was truly pleased for you. First, because you were rid of Liu Ruyan, and second, because you had found true love. Meanwhile, at the outdoor parking lot of Icun University, a crowd was gathered around a car. Wow, a Bugatti Veyron. Whose car is this? Do we have a tycoon of this caliber at our school? If this were my car, I'd happily live in a luxurious mansion and marry 8 wives. Suddenly, a voice rang out from the crowd. I need to take a picture! Everyone move aside! Ruyan, hurry up and come take one with me! The speaker was none other than Huo Haini, Liu Ruyan's best friend. Seeing Huo Haini beckon her over, Liu Ruyan moved with a seemingly elegant but slightly shy step. Wouldn't this be inappropriate? Wu Haini grabbed her, leaning against the car. What's wrong with this? We're just taking a picture to post on social media. The surrounding students kindly warned them. That's a luxury car worth tens of millions. You should be careful. Exactly. If you scratch it, even if you are the campus beauty, you wouldn't sell for that much. Wu Haini looked dismissive. What are you scared of? Even if the owner comes, they'll be captivated by our Ruyan's beauty. Besides, what's the big deal about taking a picture? With that, she pulled Liu Ruyan, and the two of them leaned on the hood of the car to take a few pretty selfies. This moment was precisely when you returned. You immediately shouted, "Who gave you permission to take pictures?" Hearing your familiar voice, Liu Ruyan's hand twitched, and her phone clattered onto the hood. Damn it, this is one of the gifts Gu Qinghan gave me, and it was smashed by this cheap woman's phone. You quickly checked the car's hood. Sure enough, there was a scratch the size of a grain of rice. Liu Ruyan also saw the small scratch but didn't take it seriously. Instead, she noticed that you had become even more handsome and felt a slight flutter in her heart. Wu Haini, remembering how you had insulted them last time, was furious. Fang Luo, what are you doing here? And don't touch this car. Do you know what kind of car this is? Can you afford to pay for it if you damage it? You looked down at the scratch on the car, your heart aching. Pointing to the phone on the hood, you asked, "Whose phone is this?" Liu Ruyan quietly replied, "It's mine." That's right then. Pay for the damage. At your words, the two women were aghast. The next second, Wu Haini laughed. Fang Luo, are you delusional? Do you know what kind of car this is? Why don't you just say you're a rich CEO? I didn't say my wife was one, you muttered internally. You didn't waste any more time, pulled out the car key, and pressed the button. The Bugatti Veyron responded. This sight completely stunned everyone present. Holy cow, this car belongs to Senior Fang! He's always won tons of scholarships, has excellent grades, and is good at singing, dancing, and rap. He's the campus heartthrob, and he's rich too. If Senior Fang could be my boyfriend, I'd be willing to be his, even if he just wanted to touch my leg or flirt with me, or even marry him. Kai-kun, who had followed you, was also shocked. Damn, tens of millions? Fangi's rich wife is seriously loaded. Kill me now, this is too much. He then walked up to you, looking at the dumbfounded Liu Ruyan and Wu Haini, and said, Fang Jie, don't be too excessive. They just made a tiny scratch. For old time's sake, just have them pay $1 million or so and be done with it. Wu Haini immediately lost it. You're insane! Fang Luo, don't push your luck! Hand over the car keys right now and let our Ruyan drive this car. And I'll consider persuading Ruyan to give you a chance to get close to her. Liu Ruyan nervously started to act shy, waiting for your reply. You two are idiots. If you don't want to pay, then I'm calling the police. You pulled out your phone and dialed the police, then contacted the insurance company. Seeing you were serious, Wu Haini quickly shouted, I didn't damage the car! Liu Ruyan's phone did it. Go talk to her. She turned and ran without looking back. Liu Ruyan was bewildered, her eyes full of disbelief. She looked at you. Fang Luo gig, I didn't do it on purpose, and I don't have the money to pay you. You felt a wave of nausea. No money? Then go sell yourself. Or go beg your Fang Jian Geje, aren't you two very close? The last 4 words were enunciated with deliberate clarity. Liu Ruyan was visibly panicked, as if some unspeakable secret had been uncovered. Fang Jian Biaoge is just a student. Where would he get that much money? Cousin? Right. He's your cousin. Since you won't pay, then pay the money. You weren't ready to expose Liu Ruyan yet. You planned to find key evidence first, and then let Liu Ruyan and her cousin, Fang Jian, face the music together. In the end, with the intervention of the police and the insurance company, Liu Ruyan had no choice but to write an IOU for 1 million yuan. Before leaving, she was full of grievances. Fang Luo, I didn't realize you were this kind of person. You were so rich and hid it from me. I hate you. In the afternoon, you and Kai-kun finalized the location for your company, situated right across from the Gucci Group headquarters, and rented the office space. You used the black card Gu Qinghan gave you for the expenses. After finishing all the errands, you rushed back to the manor and immediately saw the person you cared about most. Gu Qinghan was not as gentle as you'd hoped, She was staring at you with a murderous look because she found out you had met Liu Ruyan again today. Even though her subordinates had reported the full story, she spoke slowly. "Luo, you dare to meet Liu Ruyan again? Great, so that's why. Liu Ruyan, why don't you just die? You keep causing my wife to misunderstand. You were frustrated and about to explain when Gu Qinghan bit down on your shoulder until blood stained the fabric before releasing you. A small lesson. If there's a next time, I won't be so lenient. You felt like crying? Wife, it's really not my fault. It was a coincidence. I can't stalk her every day, can I? Maybe you should just get rid of her." Gu Qinghan seemed to see through your little trick. "You're willing?" "Willing! I wish you'd kill her and make her disappear from my sight." Hearing this, Gu Qinghan finally found some comfort, internally pondering the sincerity of your words. You gently stroked every inch of Gu Qinghan's skin, hoping to soothe her this way. Suddenly, you noticed her brow furrow. "Wife, is your leg injured?" Gu Qinghan panicked and quickly pulled away her leg. You suddenly remembered the moment you saw her applying something while you were asleep. Was it scar cream? You were heartbroken that you hadn't noticed your wife was hurt until now. You checked carefully and saw that the injury was almost healed. It was barely visible, only detectable by touch. "I'm sorry, wife. I was negligent. I deserve to die. Please punish me." Gu Qinghan's eyes instantly lit up. "Then I punish you to accompany me to watch the stars." 2.5 minutes later, the two of you were lying in the villa's sky garden. You wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk with Gu Qinghan, but before you could start, she covered your mouth, as if she didn't want you to continue speaking. Gu Qinghan was terrified of you discovering her vulnerability. She didn't want you to worry. The following sequence, the readers already understand. After a long while, you looked at Gu Qinghan and whispered, "I knew this. Stargazing wasn't simple." Gu Qinghan was unusually gentle. "Then do you like watching the stars?" You answered without hesitation, "I like the stars, and I like you even more." Gu Qinghan gazed at the starry sky, lost in thought. "Did you know when I was little, an older brother once told me that the stars weren't beautiful? Because if a fantasy is shattered, a person will fall into despair. That older brother definitely wasn't me, because I'm younger than you," you murmured, feeling a slight sense of loss. Gu Qinghan ignored your feelings and continued to speak to herself. "I used to think he was right, but now I might have to change my mind." She turned and looked at you seriously. "Because Luo, you are my star. Even if one day you are destroyed, you will still be beautiful. I just hope that if the dream must be shattered, you will lie to me for a little longer, okay?" Hearing this, you held the person beside you tightly. "Wife, I will be your brightest star for a lifetime, one that never goes out." The next morning, you received news that you didn't know whether to cheer or cry about. Gu Qinghan was on her period. You had a few days of reprieve to recover. You looked at her with a wry smile. "Wife, are you planning to fatten the pig before slaughtering it?" After breakfast, you went to find Kai-kun again, and the two of you continued working on the company. You spent the entire morning completing the company registration. The name you chose was Nuanhan Media. During lunch, you received a call from attorney Shu Kai. "Mr. Fang Tianbo wants to meet with you personally to discuss the dividends." You could easily imagine Fang Tianbo's current mix of anger and helplessness, seeking a settlement. You calmly said, "A meeting is unnecessary. You can relay my message. Just get the money ready. Everything else is non-negotiable." After hanging up, Kai-kun gave you a thumbs up, full of admiration. "Fang Ye, you finally stood up for yourself." You immediately retorted, "It's not like I was kneeling before." Kai-kun grinned knowingly. "But weren't you essentially kneeling and losing your dignity back then?" I guess so. But can we not talk about the past? Let's focus on the present. For example, my wife is beautiful as a flower and earns the money to support the family." Kai-kun muttered. "Damn it, I shouldn't have been so talkative." After parting ways, you drove back to the manor. On the way, you deliberately bought a gift. Seeing you return, Fushu breathed a sigh of relief. Since you stopped letting him follow you, and the madam had agreed, he was constantly afraid you would run away. If you did, the madam would surely flip the entire city of Kyoto. When Gu Qinghan returned to the manor, you naturally initiated a hug, kiss, and then presented the prepared gift. Gu Qinghan opened the box curiously. Inside was an exquisite insulated cup. A look of confusion crossed her face. "This is... Wife, you're having your thing right now, aren't you? I was worried you might be in pain, so I thought I'd get you a cup. I also prepared stomach-warming packets, brown sugar, and red dates. You must take them with you when you leave tomorrow. That way, when you're working and drink water from the cup I gave you, you'll think of me, right? Plus, the cup has a good meaning. It means for a lifetime, your lifetime and mine." Gu Qinghan's eyes filled with an almost imperceptible emotion. In the past, she had always been the one giving, and you had never given her anything. Now, in just a few days, you had given her a bracelet and a cup. She wouldn't be honest if she said she wasn't happy, but she was still holding back. She didn't want to be fooled by your current behavior, fearing it might all be fake. "Thank you. How did you know I have period pain?" Fushu, who was standing nearby, had tears in his eyes. Young Master Fang is getting better and better to the madam, and he's even taking the initiative to care for her body. This is a real family. Wife, saying thank you is too formal. We are a legally married couple. It's only reasonable and logical for me to do things for my wife. As for how I knew you have period pain, well, my observation skills are strong. Do you think your husband knows nothing? You leaned closer to Gu Qinghan's ear and whispered. And one more thing. If your period ends quickly, we can also continue our discussion on biology, right? A glimmer flashed in Gu Qinghan's eyes. Could a Luo really be with me because he desires my body? Thinking of this, she said, actually, it's not entirely impossible now. You were completely shocked. Wife, are you asking me to fight on a bloody battlefield? No, absolutely not. I will never agree to that request. Fushu, whose face was completely red from listening, was embarrassed. He quietly and slowly backed out of your line of sight. Over the next few days, you began to seek out the future live streamers who, in your previous life, had become stars but were currently unknown or impoverished. In just a few days, you had assembled a group of people, including Zhang Xiaolong, Chen Bai, and Yu Dehua. One afternoon, after giving your company staff another motivational speech, you left the office to go find Gu Qinghan. However, you didn't walk directly into the Gushi Group building, unsure if Gu Qinghan wanted you to be seen in public. After a moment's thought, you sent her a message. Where are you? Miss you. I'd like to invite my princess to lunch. Gu Qinghan quickly replied. Just finished a meeting. I miss you too. Find a place first, and I'll come over. You smiled, found a highly rated Western restaurant, and sent the location. Then you waited, playing on your phone. After a long wait, Gu Qinghan still hadn't arrived, and you started to worry. Brother, why are you here? Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out. It was Fang Jian, whom you hadn't seen in days. He looked surprised to see you, wearing a mask to hide his injured face. You cursed your bad luck and calmly said, Oh, it's young Master Fang. What happened to your face? Fang Jian immediately tensed up and took a step back, looking around to see if the bodyguards from before were present. He relaxed slightly and continued his act. Brother, you are the young master of the Fang family. I know you don't like me, but it doesn't matter. As long as you can forgive me, I'm willing to leave the Fang family. I only ask that you go back and kowtow to Dad and apologize. Dad will forgive you, you smiled. Fang Jian, you're a real trash can. You can really put on an act. Fang Jian bit his lip, suppressing the anger deep in his heart. Dad has been talking about you non-stop these days, Gig. Could you go see him? He's not doing well. He was hospitalized after you left last time. As long as you're willing to apologize and kowtow, Dad won't care anymore. Returning to the Fang family is only a matter of time, Fang Jian said. You sneered. Are you brain damaged? Always kneeling down to apologize. Your mom was a mistress and knelt for so many years. Did it rub off on you? Fang Jian quickly explained. How can you speak about Dad and Mom like that? Dad is your elder brother after all. You deserve getting beaten into the hospital. But even if he dies, he still owes me money. Otherwise, I'll kick him off the board. Brother, why are you so cruel? He's your father. You made a gesture of throwing up. Don't come and disgust me. He's not my dad. I don't have a son like him, and certainly not a grandson like you. Don't call me brother again either. If you want to call me something, try barking like a dog. Maybe I'll toss you a bone. Fang Jian was losing control. He suppressed his rage. But you still have a lot of shares, brother. No matter what, we're still blood brothers. You wore a mocking expression. I don't have a brother. Your mom was a mistress. You're only a few months younger than me. That proves Fang Tianba cheated on my mom while she was pregnant with me. A scumbag like him doesn't deserve to be my father. He only deserves to be a dog. Fang Jian took a deep breath. What exactly will it take for you to forgive Dad? You were slightly surprised. There was no one else here, and he was still able to hold back. Immediately you raised an eyebrow. Get rid of your parents, then send Liu Ruyan to a northern Myanmar industrial park. If you do that, I'll give you my shares. Fang Jian's eyes lit up. Really? I mean, do you really hate them that much? You chuckled. Whether I hate them or not isn't important. As long as you can do it, my shares are yours. Absolutely guaranteed. Fang Jian fell silent. He realized you were playing him. Just as he was about to play the emotional card again, he suddenly felt a chill all over. He slowly turned around. The next second, his eyes went wide. In front of him was an exquisitely beautiful face. He blurted out, "Beauty!" Gu Qinghan, without hesitation, uttered a single word that shattered the stirring of the young man's heart. "Scram! Scram! Woo-woo!" Fang Jian ran away dejectedly, but not before looking back to see the woman sitting down right next to you. Fang Jian gritted his teeth in anger. This kind of stunning, icy beauty. How does Fang Luo deserve her? No, I must steal everything Fang Luo likes. Everything he owns should be mine, or he had to endure. For now, he was an absolute professional at that. He'd first figure out the woman's identity, then expose Fang Luo's bad behavior in front of her, and then step forward to comfort her. Wouldn't she be mine then? Thinking this, Fang Jian smiled. At this moment, Gu Qinghan spoke softly. That brother of yours looks like a stupid dog. Wifey, he's not my brother. Also, don't insult stupid dogs. You said, your face full of smiles. Your tone doesn't sound fake, Gu Qinghan said, narrowing her eyes. You've changed a lot recently. Have I? I just woke up from a dream, that's all. You softly reminisced. Was it the past or is the present a dream? Gu Qinghan inquired. Your heart skipped a beat at this. You reached out and cupped her face. Qinghan, look at me. This is my truest love. I am absolutely certain that I only want you now. Everyone else is not worth a single strand of your hair. You are not a dream, but you are more beautiful than any dream. Do you understand? Gu Qinghan's heart pounded wildly. Even though you had said many loving words recently, she still felt her heart flutter every single time. Luo, even if you are lying to me, I am willing. Like a moth to a flame. Time flew by. After being reborn, your relationship with Gu Qinghan gradually warmed up. You spent a short time that you both felt was too beautiful. In the blink of an eye, it was the day before your school started. In the GU Group CEO's office, Gu Qinghan seemed to be emanating endless killing intent. For the entire morning, the whole GU Group was in a state of terror. Even a passing dog would yelp in fear from Gu Qinghan's stare. The one who felt it most deeply was her assistant, Shen Mengxi. He tremblingly handed a stack of documents to Gu Qinghan. These files need your review and signature. Gu Qinghan was unmoved, simply staring coldly at the ceiling, lost in thought. The thought that you would soon meet Liu Ruyan again made her want to throw Liu Ruyan into the sea to feed the fish right now. After a long while, Gu Qinghan came back to her senses, took a deep breath, and coldly commanded, "Get out." Shen Mengxi cautiously left the office. After thinking it over, he picked up his phone and dialed a number. Meanwhile, directly across from the GU Group, you were busy with the urgent final acceptance of your new company's progress. At the same time, you received a call from Shen Mengxi. You answered with a trace of confusion. "Assistant Shen, what's wrong?" Shen Mengxi's voice was panicked. "Mr. Fang, please come quickly. Something has happened to CEO GU." Hearing this, you rushed out without a second thought, running and asking for the situation. However, Shen Mengxi was evasive and wouldn't elaborate, only saying the situation was very serious. You grew anxious, only wanting to see Gu Qinghan immediately. If anything happened to Gu Qinghan, I must protect her. No one is allowed to bully my wife. You quickly arrived at the GU Group's first floor lobby. Gu Qinghan's office was on the 88th floor. In your previous life, you had been kidnapped by Gu Qinghan's bodyguards more than once. Your appearance made many people's eyes light up, especially the female white-collar workers who looked like their eyes were dripping with desire. You bypassed the front desk and headed straight for the dedicated elevator. Seeing this, security immediately came to stop you. Sir, this is a dedicated elevator. Only CEO Gu and her assistant team are authorized to use it. You nodded. I know. I can use it too. The security guard laughed. Sir, our CEO Gu has androphobia. She wouldn't hire a male assistant. Please come up with a better excuse. You were in a hurry to see Gu Qinghan and didn't bother to explain. You directly entered your fingerprint. The next second, the elevator started moving. This sight almost made the security guard, who was about to call for backup, freeze in shock. On the 88th floor, Shen Mengshi was already waiting. Mr. Fang, you're finally here. Please follow me quickly. He said this while handing you a stack of files. So you called me so urgently just to have me deliver these documents to CEO Gu? You asked, confused. Shen Mengshi looked serious. Delivering documents is secondary. The main thing is that CEO Gu is very angry right now and no one knows why. At a time like this, only you can ease CEO Gu's mood. Shen Mengshi went to push you toward the door but suddenly froze his hand. If CEO Gu finds out my hand touched Mr. Fang, will this hand be chopped off? You didn't notice Shen Mengshi's hesitation. You gently knocked on the door. No response. You tried turning the doorknob and pushing the door open, finding it unlocked. However, once you entered the office and looked around, you didn't see a soul. You were a bit confused. Is I here to placate the air? Suddenly, a strange noise entered your ears, sounding like something being smashed. The sound was very faint. You couldn't hear it without listening carefully. You followed the sound and found that it came from behind the bookshelf. But behind the bookshelf was clearly a wall. You knocked on the wall. It wasn't solid. You immediately shouted, Qinghan, are you in there? You got no response. After a moment of thought, you turned to go out and ask Shen Mengshi. Just then, the bookshelf slowly moved, revealing a passage. After Gu Qinghan walked out, the bookshelf automatically returned to its position. The moment she saw you, a hint of panic flashed in Gu Qinghan's eyes. I didn't expect this. There's a secret room in the office. Hey, wifey, are you planning to hide a lover in there? You teased, looking at Gu Qinghan. Gu Qinghan recovered from her brief panic. Do you want to be hidden? If it's my wife, then I'm willing to be hidden, you said, approaching her with a smile. You then embraced her and gently pushed up her sleeve. Gu Qinghan was clearly flustered and tried to pull her arm back, but her movements were too slow. Seeing the striking scars on Gu Qinghan's arm, your heart felt like it was being clenched by something. Every scar seemed to remind you that your love for Gu Qinghan was still far from enough. You slowly spoke. I noticed your arm movements were unnatural earlier. Luo, it's not what you think, Gu Qinghan explained frantically. She couldn't let you be afraid of her again. The life she'd been living for the past few days was already her dream come true. You helped Gu Qinghan sit down, then gently asked, do you have a first aid kit? Gu Qinghan blankly pointed to a corner of the bookshelf. You turned, picked up the first aid kit, and then knelt in front of Gu Qinghan. You gently held her arm. Don't move. Your gentle movements made Gu Qinghan somewhat trance-like. She didn't react to the pain at all, only lowering her head to look at you, who was seriously applying medicine. It's my fault. I didn't do a good job as a husband, which is why you got hurt. Did you do these injuries to yourself? At this moment, you suddenly understood why she had scars on her leg last time. Damn it, I should have noticed sooner. After all, Gu Qinghan's way of thinking was different from ordinary people. Does it hurt? You looked up at Gu Qinghan. Your noses were almost touching, and you could feel each other's warm breath. The fear you had imagined seeing in your eyes wasn't there. Instead, there was only heartache and blurred emotion. Gu Qinghan quickly said, it doesn't hurt. Luo, don't cry. After bandaging the wound, you hugged Gu Qinghan completely. Wifey, if you have any grievances, the person you should hurt is me. If you want to hurt yourself again, please let me bear it with you, okay? My heart really hurts. A crystal tear rolled down Gu Qinghan's cheek. She didn't want to agree, but still gave in verbally. Okay. It was a long time before you let go. Looking at her slightly red eyes, you realized that she could cry. She was a woman. She wasn't a cold, unfeeling machine. She's my Fang Luo's wife. Can you tell me the reason? If you don't want to say, you don't have to, you said, doing your best to accommodate Gu Qinghan's feelings. After a moment of silence, Gu Qinghan said, "You're starting school tomorrow. I wanted to lock you by my side, but I didn't want to do that. I'm so conflicted. I feel like I'm going crazy." "So you hurt yourself to calm down? But we can still see each other every night. Why did you do this?" you asked, completely baffled. "Because of Liu Ruyan. I'm afraid you'll leave me after seeing her. The thought of you going to her makes me feel like I'm suffocating. I really want to kill Liu Ruyan." You finally understood. "Qinghan, look at me. I'm your husband. That Liu Ruyan is just a piece of trash I stepped on in my life. My eyes only see you as my only love. I won't love anyone else, so please rest assured, no one will steal me from you, and I will never leave you. I won't allow you to abandon me either." Gu Qinghan's mind was in chaos. Your words gave her a great sense of security. Perhaps she really needed to make a change and try to truly believe you. "Okay, I believe you. You felt the change in Gu Qinghan and made a firm decision in your heart. You must give Gu Qinghan the best tenderness and the most healing comfort. As for Liu Ruyan, she must be dealt with quickly, but she would always be a thorn in Gu Qinghan's heart." After comforting her for a while, Gu Qinghan finally returned to normal, her eyes regaining a hint of aggression. "Wifey, what about that secret room you asked?" "Luo, next time. I'll definitely let you in next time, okay? There are some little secrets of mine inside. I'm not ready for you to go in yet." You showed a charming smile and casually sat down in Gu Qinghan's office chair. "All right then. But I'm angry now. I'll punish you. I'll punish you to be my secretary. Let me experience CEO Gu's life." Gu Qinghan immediately sat down on your lap, her fingers tracing circles on your chest. "That's fine, boss. You're handsome, and I'm not bad myself. So, for business, the secretary is busy. For no business, then," you quickly interrupted her, picking up the document Shen Mengxi had handed you. "Well, there's business right now. Secretary Gu, please approve this document." Gu Qinghan took the document, looked at it with confusion, and then signed it with a flurry of strokes. "Boss, it's approved. Please have a look." Suddenly, a knock sounded on the door. Gu Qinghan's eyes flashed with killing intent. "Come in." Shen Mengxi cautiously pushed the door open. "CEO Gu, that document." Before he could finish, a document was accurately tossed into his hand. Shen Mengxi quickly retreated and closed the door, then let out a sigh of relief. How is CEO Gu sitting on Mr. Fang's lap? After an unknown amount of time, you and Gu Qinghan finally left the Gu group hand in hand. All the company employees who witnessed this scene had their worldviews nearly shattered. However, no one dared to openly discuss it, as anyone who had previously shown interest in Gu Qinghan had mysteriously vanished. This icy female CEO not only deterred all the men in the company, but also scared off quite a few lesbians. Next, Gu Qinghan took you to Huishan Plaza, the one that had been transferred to your name. It was the first time you two had gone shopping together. Pedestrians on the street frequently cast admiring glances at the couple. Gu Qinghan saw a cold drink shop and casually asked, "Luo, do you want ice cream?" You quickly shook your head. "No, you can't have it. You're still on your period." Gu Qinghan smiled, a very happy smile. "Then let's go have dessert. I've never had outside dessert before." When you arrived at the dessert shop, black-clad men suddenly appeared out of nowhere. They paid the few patrons, a handful of banknotes for each person, without a word. A single look was enough for everyone to obediently take the money and leave. You were speechless at the sight. "Wifey, this is too inhumane!" You two then ordered 2 desserts. You fed her a bite, and she fed you a bite. "Wifey, there's a post-it wall here. Let's write something down," you said, tearing off 2 post-it notes, handing one to Gu Qinghan and keeping the other in your hand. "A little boring, but if Luo likes it, I'll just write something randomly," Gu Qinghan said, picking up a pen and writing. "Luo, always stay with me." You wrote down, "Always stay with Gu Qinghan." When you two posted the notes on the wall together, you smiled at each other. After leaving the dessert shop, you went to buy a milk tea. "Qinghan, I specifically asked for no ice. They say girls like this. Give it a try." Gu Qinghan took the cup and casually asked, "Does Liu Ruyan like to drink it?" You were exasperated. "She only likes to eat shit. Can we please stop mentioning her?" Gu Qinghan tried a sip. It tastes good. You try some too. Seeing the milk tea being handed to you, you didn't hesitate and took a sip. Gu Qinghan enjoyed the feeling of sharing a cup of milk tea and a single straw. This kind of ambiguous, indirect kiss gave her a unique sense of satisfaction. Of course, this was your little scheme in buying only one cup. Next, you two went clothes shopping and even got manicures. The date finally came to an end. This was the happiest date you'd had in both your past and present lives. Although the activities were simple, doing them with Gu Qinghan made everything fun. As for Gu Qinghan, it was also a very memorable afternoon. During dinner, Gu Qinghan spoke. "I'll take you to school tomorrow. Don't go looking for Liu Ruyan." You smiled. "Okay, I won't go looking for her. If she comes looking for me, I'll ruthlessly humiliate her." Gu Qinghan pointed to her eyes. "Remember what you said. I'll be watching you at all times." You confidently replied, "Of course, like a camera on a clock." Gu Qinghan was stunned by your words. She said coldly, "So you knew." You laughed and reached out to pinch her nose. "I should say that I like being watched by you at all times. If you're worried, you can install a GPS tracker on me. Don't the domineering presidents in novels all do that?" The moment you finished speaking, Gu Qinghan immediately replied, "I already did, 3 years ago." You were instantly bewildered. No wonder she could always find you, no matter where you were. Even if you died and were buried, she would still find you. So that was the reason. "Are you going to blame me?" Gu Qinghan's expression was a little serious. You answered sincerely, "No. This way, even if I die, you will find me." "Luo, if you die, I will definitely follow you, whether to heaven or hell. You belong only to me. It's a deal, no regrets ever." Finally, the day school arrived. As a top-tier university, Akun University was naturally lively on opening day. You officially became a senior student. Countless students, after overcoming many difficulties, stepped onto the campus. Of course, some got in through family connections like Fang Jian and Liu Ruyan. Back then, Fang Tianba built a classroom building and dormitory in the name of the group, exchanging it for 2 enrollment spots, one for his younger son, Fang Jian, and the other for Liu Ruyan. You got in by your own ability. Today, Fang Tianba personally drove his son and niece to school. Just as they reached the school gate, they saw a super luxurious Rolls-Royce drive in, scaring him into quickly getting out of the way. Fang Jian didn't go out much because his face, injured by your beating, hadn't completely healed and he was likely afraid of being laughed at. He was mostly healed now, though. Liu Ruyan had been disgraced by the luxury car incident last time and hadn't returned to school since, afraid of being mocked, especially since the campus forums were full of posts about you two. Although most students were rational, she was still labeled a, quote, gold digger. Fang Tianba looked at the Rolls-Royce and his heart skipped a beat. That's a GU family car. As someone who had achieved some success, Fang Tianba naturally knew a little about the GU family. The GU family was the top-tier prestigious family in the country, arguably even the #1. It was said that the head of the GU family, Gu Qinghan, was only 26 years old and already controlled everything. Her rise was legendary. She got lost at age 5, was found at 18, and everyone thought she was just an easily bullied young girl returning home. Instead, she single-handedly dismantled the entire Gu family. The first step was dealing with her parents and brothers. After gaining the right to speak, she kicked out several uncles. In just a few years, she completely controlled the Gu family, with no one left to oppose her. By the time she took charge at 23, the Gu family was already a behemoth. Fang Tianba had wanted to connect with the Gu family before. He heard Gu Qinghan was looking for someone, but soon after, he heard the person was found, so he missed the chance to curry favor. Now that the Gu family was the world's #1 top-tier family, Fang Tianba knew he couldn't catch their eye. Fang Tianba told Fang Jian and Liu Ruyan, "Do you see that car? You must get on good terms with the person inside. That's a GU group car. No matter who's coming to school, you must seize the opportunity." The two nodded in unison. But when the car door slowly opened, all 3 of them were dumbfounded. "Fang? Fang Luo?" After you stepped out of the car, everyone at the school gate was stunned. The older students were shocked that you were going to school in a Rolls-Royce. The new students were amazed that such a rich and unbelievably handsome young man was here. Who is that? So handsome and so rich. I want to throw myself at him. Junior sister. That's Senior Fang Luo, the school heartthrob. Senior Fang Luo, look over here. Is it true that you're not pursuing Liu Ruyan anymore? Look at me, please. Liu Ruyan's expression was unsightly. Hearing the discussion around her, her heart ached, feeling like she was about to lose something. Just as you were about to walk away, Gu Qinghan's voice came from the car window. Husband, a kiss. You quickly turned back and gave her a goodbye kiss. Wifey, I'll be back early tonight. Gu Qinghan, satisfied with the kiss, looked coldly at the surrounding students as if to say, this man is mine. No one dares to touch him. This scene startled Fang Tianba, who was about to light a cigarette and get out of the car. He quickly put away his cigarette and retreated into the car. He couldn't believe what he had just seen and quickly checked his phone. Oh my God, it really is Gu Qinghan. Fang Jian saw Gu Qinghan too, and his heart skipped a beat. Such a beautiful woman openly kissing Fang Luo. He felt extremely unbalanced. Fang Luo was the most unwelcome son in the Fang family, while he was the Fang family's darling. Liu Ruyan's eyes went pale at the scene. This woman she'd seen twice left a deep impression on her. Every time she saw her, Liu Ruyan felt as if she might be cut down by her at any moment. Dad, brother publicly kissed that beauty. This is too damaging to our Fang family's reputation, Fang Jian complained. However, Fang Tianba just glanced at him indifferently, not responding. Fang Jian quickly changed his tune. It's all my fault for not caring enough about my brother and not noticing he was ruining the family reputation. It's my mistake. Dad, don't make things difficult for brother. Just make him kowtow and admit his mistake. Don't hit him. It would hurt me to see it. Fang Tianba sighed. Xiaojian, you're too kind, that's why he always bullies you. Now he's forcing me to give him the dividends. An unfilial son like that, even if he kneels and apologizes, I can't forgive him. He's lost me as a father forever. Suddenly, a thought flashed through Fang Tei's mind. Xiaojian, I have something to tell you. Then, he whispered something into Fang Tei's ear. Fang Jian's eyes slowly widened, then became excited. It turned out Fang Tianba wanted Fang Jian to get close to you, and through you, get close to Gu Qinghan. He wanted Fang Jian to ideally gain Gu Qinghan's attention, or even stay by her side. Fang Tianba thought you were just a little handsome, and even if Gu Qinghan was interested in you, it was only because of your looks. If anyone was excellent, Fang Jian was his pride. Even if it didn't work out in the end, he could still get some benefits from you. After all, he was your biological father, and he figured you couldn't do anything to him. It was only reasonable for him to get a share of the benefits obtained from the Gu family. After receiving the command, Fang Jian thought of something else. He and Liu Ruyan walked into the campus together, talking about something. Liu Ruyan's eyes slowly widened, then she gradually grew excited. Fang Jian secretly pinched Liu Ruyan's butt. Ooh, nice. Cousin will check it out for you sometime. Liu Ruyan looked bashful. Brother Fang Jian, you're so naughty. Are you not jealous that you're letting me go find Fang Luo? Go on. I trust you can protect yourself. As long as Fang Luo is with you, I don't think that Miss will let him off. Liu Ruyan also knew that her relationship with you could never be public. You were indeed a good cover-up candidate. You had become handsome and rich. Maybe being with you wasn't a bad idea after all. Dating both brothers, the thought is thrilling. On the first day of school, many upperclassmen volunteered for welcoming new students and setting up club booths, but you didn't want to waste time on that. You went straight to your partner, Kai Kun, aka Old Kai. Old Kai, how's the company doing now? Kai Kun's face was full of pride. It's already renovated. Now we just need people. We have a ready-made advantage. We can recruit right here at our school. I believe the students and the school will both strongly support us. After all, everyone wants internship certificates. You nodded. I'll find a chance to talk to the principal. Of course, we don't want just anyone. Like Liu Ruyan. I heard Liu Ruyan interned all summer and didn't even get an internship certificate. That's hilarious. Apparently she got fired for seducing her supervisor, Kai Kun said. Looking thrilled, you were momentarily surprised. That's big news. You got angry just thinking about seeing that scummy woman. Thankfully, after today, she wouldn't be in your class anymore. At the same time, in the dean's office, Liu Ruyan was shocked. Why? The dean said flatly. No why. Starting today, you are no longer a student in the finance department. The principal has arranged for you to study Burmese in the foreign language department. Liu Ruyan was incredulous. What right do you have to change my major? This is tyranny. I'm going to report you to the Ministry of Education. The instructor sneered. Suit yourself. But before that, I'll also have the Ministry of Education check how a poor student like you got into Akun University. Don't be ungrateful. The GU group already reported your behavior to the school during your internship. Not expelling you is already an act of grace. I'm innocent. You're being too much. I'll go study Burmese. Seeing the dean's cold face, Liu Ruyan finally gave up resisting and walked out of the office in a daze. Suddenly, her phone vibrated. Liu Ruyan opened it. Did they change their minds? She wondered excitedly. But the dean's message said, I forgot to tell you earlier. Your performance for the freshman welcome gala has been canceled. The student union said your dance looks like a chicken's movements and is not suitable for a performance. Liu Ruyan stood frozen, unmoving for a long time. Why have I been so unlucky lately? First, Fang Luo left me. Then, I inexplicably got burdened with a 1 million debt. And even my best friend left me. Fang Luo, I hate you! Liu Ruyan inwardly gritted her teeth. However, she knew she had to find you. She had a task. To get something, you must lose something. Since she had already lost, she had to gain something back. After today, I won't be in his class anymore, and my chances of seeing Fang Luo will become less and less. Today's the perfect time. At this moment, you and Kai-kun were walking toward your classroom. Just as you were about to enter, Liu Ruyan suddenly appeared, blocking your way. Fang Luo, I want to talk to you. You were annoyed. Talk about what? Talk about dreams? What is your dream? Why are you posing seductively here? Liu Ruyan was infuriated. She took a deep breath, as if making a huge decision. Brother Fang Luo, I know you've been neglecting me because I didn't agree to your confession. I've realized that I actually like you. Since you've been gone, my feelings for you have grown too strong to hide when I'm alone. Brother Fang Luo, I agree to be your girlfriend. Let's be together. You looked at her mockingly. Then you need to be careful. Liu Ruyan was nervous, not understanding what you meant. It's impossible to hide love for one person, but you'll have to hide your love for two people, you said. Hearing this, a hint of panic appeared on Liu Ruyan's face. What do you mean? I already agreed to be your girlfriend. What else do you want? You answered coldly. I didn't agree. I want you to pay me back first. Liu Ruyan finally couldn't hold back. Money! 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 Is our relationship only about money now? You curled your lip. The only relationship we have is that I'm your creditor. Liu Ruyan was disappointed, but forced herself to say, Fang Luo, stop fooling around. Let's go back to how we were. I'll be your girlfriend. Please don't ignore me, okay? Didn't you miss me all these days? Stop! Whether I miss you or not isn't important. If you miss me, send me money. My card number hasn't changed. It's still the agricultural bank one. Liu Ruyan felt insulted and shouted excitedly. Fang Luo, are you really stupid or just pretending? I'm really angry. You laughed coldly. If you're sick, call 911. If you want to die, don't drag me into it. If you have money, send it to me. If you don't have money, go sell yourself. Liu Ruyan's tears fell like broken pearls. However, the whole classroom was silent. No one spoke up for her. In the past, a few people trying to curry favor with her might have come to criticize you, but the situation was different now. At this moment, you heard people nearby discussing. Liu Ruyan is truly shameless. Fang Luo already posted about his marriage on his WeChat moments, and she's still clinging to him. Isn't this classic mistress behavior? Not necessarily. Maybe he found pictures online to provoke Liu Ruyan. But I noticed Fang Luo really did come in a luxury car today. There was also a beauty in the car. Maybe he really got a sugar mama. Hearing these gossiping whispers, Liu Ruyan looked at you in disbelief. Fang Luo, you're married? You chuckled. So what if I am? Liu Ruyan, I'm telling you, if you want to be a mistress, find someone else. Come back to me only when you want to pay back the money. Liu Ruyan ran away sobbing. She only just found out you had posted on your moments because she had been in your blacklist for a long time. After Liu Ruyan left, the classroom became noisy again. Some people occasionally looked at you, and others couldn't help but come over and ask what was going on. Although you didn't plan to reveal your wife's identity for now, you told your classmates that you were indeed married, but no one knew who your wife was. This broke the hearts of many girls in the class. However, some still thought you were pretending, trying to use reverse psychology to stimulate Liu Ruyan, given your former image as a lickspittle was too ingrained in their minds. Liu Ruyan returned to the dorm and cried alone under the covers. She felt that you might truly no longer care about her. She couldn't accept it. Huohani pushed open the dorm door and immediately noticed Liu Ruyan's swollen eyes. Remembering how she betrayed her last time, she felt a little embarrassed. Ruyan, last time was just a delaying tactic. After all, if it was just you, Fang Luo wouldn't really make you pay the money back. But if it was both of us, Fang Luo would definitely make me pay. You understand me, right? After all, we're best friends. Liu Ruyan stared blankly at Huohani, unsure if she was telling the truth. But you didn't give me an explanation for so many days. Huohani quickly came up with an excuse. My dad called me home for a blind date, so I didn't have time. Liu Ruyan accepted Huohani's explanation, and the two friends reconciled. Ruyan, what happened to you? Did Fang Luo bully you again? Fang Luo seems to be married. He doesn't want me anymore. And he... Liu Ruyan explained everything angrily. Huohani laughed. Ruyan, don't worry. I can guarantee Fang Luo is definitely lying to you. Think about it. Fang Luo has been madly in love with you forever. How could he just give up? He's just playing hard to get to provoke you and make you realize how good he is. Liu Ruyan suddenly understood. Fang Luo is starting to lie just to provoke me. I spent his money before just to encourage him to work harder. Why is he so silly and doesn't understand anything? Huohani looked at Liu Ruyan as if she were an idiot. If it weren't for wanting to get close to Fang Luo, she wouldn't continue being best friends with this low IQ woman. Over the past few days, she also used her cousin at the insurance company to investigate, confirming that you were indeed the owner of the Bugatti. She was shocked by this result. Now, your coldness toward Liu Ruyan seemed absolutely genuine. You genuinely didn't like Liu Ruyan anymore. Doesn't that mean I can try to take his place? If Liu Ruyan, the scumbag, doesn't cherish him, then he's mine. In the Principal Tang's office in the main building, Principal Tang was contacting his former students, seeing if they could arrange internship positions in various companies. In recent years, the economy had been sluggish. Large companies monopolized the market, and small companies struggled to emerge. Positions at large companies were highly sought after, while small companies were reluctant to spend money, making it increasingly difficult for university students to find jobs. Even at Akamp University, a top-tier institution, many students couldn't find employment. This was not what he, as a principal, wanted to see. Furthermore, the library was old, and funding from the higher-ups had not been approved. All these troubles had to be handled by him personally, making his hair turn white at only 50 years old. Just then, a knock came at the door. Seeing two students enter, he looked confused. 10 minutes later, Principal Tang said in disbelief, "You two started a media company, and you want to recruit students here at the school?" Kai-kun handed him a stack of materials. The principal's eyes widened as he read. "You need 100 students? Such large-scale recruitment. If the results aren't good, can you handle it?" You nodded. "Thank you, Principal, for thinking of us, but don't worry. Our funds are very sufficient. 100 people is just the first batch of recruitment. If we develop well later, we will continue to recruit. We hope the principal can help us in all aspects then." Principal Tang was so moved he almost teared up. Of course! 100 people is no small number. After the freshman military training, you will personally announce the on-site recruitment at the freshman welcome gala. After leaving the principal's office, you and Kai-kun exchanged a knowing smile. Mission accomplished. The day quickly passed. It was soon evening. In the morning, Gu Qinghan personally drove you to school, and in the evening, you drove away in the Bugatti. This scene stunned many students, who were all very curious about you. The junior girls' eyes were shining, as if they wanted to pounce on you. From this day on, you became the undisputed young master of Akun. Coupled with your previous reputation, you were the focus of countless students. Returning to the manor, you were shocked as soon as you opened the door. "Welcome home, sir!" The maids were lined up in 2 rows. A red carpet was laid in the living room, and the butler was waiting across from you with a bottle of champagne. Seeing your confusion, the butler smiled. "Young master," Miss said, "today is your first day of school," so she arranged a back-to-school banquet. A banquet for going back to school? Money really can do whatever it wants. You immediately asked, "Is Qinghan back?" Just then, Gu Qinghan walked in from outside. Her gaze was sharp. "Luo, did you see Liu Ruyan today?" The entire scene fell silent at her question. "Qinghan, I don't want to lie to you. Yes, I did see her, but I have no feelings for her whatsoever. I only asked her for the money. She scratched the car you gave me." Gu Qinghan naturally knew all this. She knew where you went today and everything you said. Fortunately, you hadn't done anything out of line, but she was still not satisfied. She wanted to punish you to make you feel pain, so you would be more restrained. Gu Qinghan stared at you with a determined gaze. The show is about to start.